Apple just dropped the iOS 26.4 developer beta, and honestly, this one's way more packed than I expected. We have got AI building playlists for you, encrypted RCS texting, a security feature that now turns itself on, and a bunch of visual changes. I've been digging through this beta all day, so let me walk you through everything, starting with subtle, small changes, and then we'll get into the features that actually change how you use your iPhone. First up, the wallpaper picker got a makeover. If you go into settings and tap wallpaper, you'll see redesigned gallery. The categories are more separated now and the whole interface feels cleaner. It actually looks a lot like what Apple did with the watch face gallery. Oh, and here's an interesting detail. Some wallpapers are now downloaded from Apple's servers instead of being stored on your device. So expect new options to show up over time without needing a full software update. The Contacts app is getting more of that liquid glass treatment that Apple has been rolling out across iOS. If you compare it to iOS 26.3, you will notice the difference immediately. Even the text looks slightly different, more white, cleaner and easier to read. It just makes the whole app feel more polished and consistent with the rest of the system. Apple also redesigned the profile section, and not just in one app, in Apple Music, App Store, Podcasts, and Apple TV. Your profile page now has a clearer layout with quicker access to common actions. Under privacy and security, stolen device protection is now turned on by default when you update it. You had to manually enable it before, and a lot of people probably never did. This is the feature that adds extra layer of authentication if someone steals your phone and also knows your passcode. This prevents them from locking you out of your own Apple account. The fact that Apple is now forcing it on tells you they are serious about this. Let's talk about the App Store app. The App Store got a quite noticeable cleanup. The search icon has been integrated with the rest of the tab into the bottom bar, and the search interface now appears at the top of the screen instead of the lower half, which feels more natural. The profile page has also gotten a small update. There's a new Apple icon on top. Apps and purchase history are now grouped together, and the update section is way cleaner. Just tap in and everything shows up. No more scrolling. You also got a new rating and review section, and personalized recommendations are now front and center. The quick actions like add money, redeem code, and send gift is placed as a floating button in the middle, and there is a new family settings shortcut that takes you straight into iCloud Family Management. Not a dramatic redesign, but it's more structured. That said, I'll be honest, I rarely visit the App Store profile page anyway, so while the changes are nice, not sure how much they'll affect my daily use. Now for an update on my favorite apps. There's a new smart list in reminders for tasks marked as urgent. This builds on the urgent feature Apple added in iOS 26.2, but now it goes further. When you mark a task as urgent and set a date or time, it can trigger an alarm, allow snoozing, and even show up as a live activity. So instead of just sitting in your list, urgent reminders actively notify you when it's time, even if your phone is on silent. That makes this genuinely useful for things you really don't want to miss. Now let's talk about Apple Music, which probably is the highlight of this update. Apple Music can now help you find concerts that's happening near you and your tour dates for artists that you listen to. On the homepage, scroll down to concert section, set your location, and it'll show you shows nearby. You can filter by date or genre to find something that you would actually want to go. You can also search for a specific artist, open their profile, scroll down, and see their upcoming concerts listed there. Tap on one and you get details like date, time, directions, and even an option to book tickets directly. You can add the event to your calendar or share it with someone from here as well, which is actually pretty convenient. When you open a playlist now, the artwork and the animation fill the entire screen unlike before. The whole page feels more immersive. The controls have shifted a bit too. Play and shuffle buttons look slightly different, and the download button is now placed right on the main playlist screen instead of being tucked at the top. This full screen animated experience used to be limited to individual songs or albums, but now Apple's brought that same treatment to playlists, and it looks really good. The third Apple Music update is something called Playlist Playground. This is powered by Apple Intelligence, and it basically lets you create a playlist starting from just an idea. To use it, you go to your library and tap on this new icon that turns your ideas into playlists. When you open it, you can type something or choose from the options. Let me pick morning coffee music, and Apple Music will start finding songs that match that vibe. Once it's ready, you can play it right away by tapping on it, rearrange songs, or customize it even further. If you're happy with it, just tap the arrow, pick a cover image, add a description, and choose whether you want it visible on your profile. It gets saved like your regular playlist, except you created it just from a single idea instead of manually adding songs one by one. There are also pre-built prompt ideas if you don't know where to start. It is in beta, but it already works surprisingly well. If you long press on your home screen and add a widget, then search for music, you will see a new ambient music widget. There are two variations of it. One is a single option for sleep, and the other one has sleep, chill, productivity, and well-being. Drop one on your home screen and start playing background audio instantly whenever you need it. Pretty convenient if you use music to focus. Next, an update to the podcast app, and many are gonna love this. If a podcast episode includes video, it will now be clearly tagged as a video podcast. You can watch it right inside the app, follow along with captions, or switch the video off and just listen if you prefer. This is powered by Apple's HLS technology, which also handles automatic quality adjustment based on your network. Plus, dynamic video ads are coming to podcasts. Now, for some smaller other updates, iOS 26.4 makes it easier to see who is connected to your personal hotspot and how much data they are using. Super useful if you share your hotspot regularly. There are new localization files for Indian English with some references to Apple Pay, which could hint at upcoming Apple Pay feature for India. Okay, before we wrap up, Apple's bigger AI plans for Siri are reportedly getting delayed again. The more advanced AI-powered Siri that Apple teased as part of its Apple Intelligence push is still facing development challenges. Reports suggest some of those features may not arrive until late 2026 or even later. The goal is to make Siri more conversational, more context-aware, and able to actually take actions across apps, but Apple seems to be prioritizing reliability and privacy over rushing it out. So if you were expecting a massive Siri leap anytime soon, we may have to wait a bit longer. So overall, iOS 26.4 isn't a massive redesign, but it adds a lot of small polish and a few meaningful features, especially in Apple Music and reminders. And with Apple announcing a special event, this beta might just be a stage for bigger announcements around Apple Intelligence. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments which feature you're most excited to try and whether you're installing the beta or waiting for the public release. I'll see you in the next one. This is Anjana. Bye-bye.